Let's get started.
The truth that sets you free may also tear your life apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the find of the century.
Well. Wow, 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 wow. What's happening? What's happening, people? I'm up in here. How am I sounding? Hey, welcome to Giraffeballz. He is I, and I am him. It is your Uncle Jeff. I am incredibly handsome. I look great today. But I don't know if I'm going to show you me on the, I don't think I'm going to do this today. Not till I figure out my internet shit, man. I got some kind of internet thing that is going on. How am I looking, guys? I mean, other than looking like I own 3 elephants, 2 giraffes, a bag of chips, and some chewing gum, I have no idea what that means, Will. It is random. I'll give you that. It's quite random. I have no idea what it means. What's up? Got to get back to my man. So I'm low on my blow. So YouTube says it sound good. I hope it sound good. Let's see who's all out here. Glitchy, right? What it do? Are you using Ethernet connection? Yeah, true. I'm in the wall. I don't know. I always been in the wall. I haven't changed anything, and then all of a sudden, it's glitchy, and I'm getting a low connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router or moving closer to it. I'm not. I'm in the wall, bro. I'm in the wall. There's no Wi-Fi on. I don't have Wi-Fi on. I'm in the wall. So let me see. Let me open. I'm going to open my network preferences while I'm up here. Okay. Ethernet 1. Connected. Using what I'm using. Blah, blah, blah. I have no idea why it's glitchy. So in order to get around the glitchy, y'all going to have to look at what I look like with my shirt off. Oh, no. Let's be honest. I have cut my hair. I don't have hair. But that's what I look like. You know. Look at this. Spoken like a man who believes that the grid can't be shut down from outside. Spoken like a man who believes that the cell phone cannot be intercepted. Spoken like a man who believes that there isn't still a landline network all across this country made up of those who have landlines, who can communicate with one another through Morse code if necessary on the landline. That's who yes, you bet your sweet ass I still got a landline and you fucked up not having one. Oh, you got one? Okay. Okay, good. Well, holy shit. You scared me right there, man. You got a landline. You keep that sumbitch. Keep it. Should still have a TV with ears on it. Why they stop letting you get shit signals from out? Why they stop that? Now, anyway, smoke your smoke. Get on where you need to be. Because I'm about to get where I'm going with the last of today's strain, which is Jack Herrera. Good shit. I am enjoying right now. And now that I'll take, Pookie and Ray Ray. The equipment is high Giraffeballz from the contact smoke. It'd be some contact smoke in here. That's how you can tell. Weed smoke does not affect studio monitors. Oh, that beat I sent is a sound. Oh, that's not my DMs. You mean I need to check because I checked my Instagram DM and I didn't see nothing. You mean you just sent me something to jeffbreezemusic@gmail. Is that what you're saying? Where did you send what you sent? I need the address because I'm looking at jeffbreezemusic@gmail and I'm not seeing anything. Maybe that's the problem. Where have you been sending your shit? Where'd you send it? I'm gonna email it though. Yes, please email it. Email it. Run all there it is right there. Going across the screen. You need beats, send the jeffbreezemusic@gmail. That's all my beat business. Okay. Don't be I can do all this shit. I'm trying to keep it all in one place, young Jedi. And it's tough. Now, before we get into the subject, niggas, ooh shit. This just in. Man, I'm trying to tell you something. I am keeping up with Gilbert Arenas and Kwame Brown, the thing that's going on between them, Zero, this battle between them regarding Ja Morant. The is Ja Morant right or wrong battle. And wow. In my opinion, Gilbert Arenas, shout out to him, brother that I have met. Kwame Brown, shout out to a brother I have not. Both make very valid points. Both make issues, make points I agree with on certain issues, but they both don't like each other. One had a far more successful NBA career than the other, and I think you can't have a love for something and not have this passion. Now watch as I pat myself on the back. Watch how your man brings Kwame and Gilbert Arenas back around on today's subject, which is who are you suffering for? I dig these two dudes, man. And Yogi, I'm telling you, this dude, my man Kwame, this time, I think verbally, he put your boy Gilbert Arenas in the blender. He put him in the blender. I can't, much as I would love to defend, because Gilbert Arenas, let me say something, man. Let me say this. I don't have a dog in this race because y'all know how I feel about basketball already anyway. I don't have a dog in this fight. It's not so much basketball as much as it is professional sports that we don't know. But these two dudes are absolutely entertaining to me outside of it. And they both make valid points. One of them I have met, one of them I have not. I absolutely am on Kwame Brown's side of this. And not only am I on his side, God damn it, did Gilbert Arenas take a washing. Oh man, did he take this dude to the frickin' woodshed. Check this shit out.
I'm glad you brought your dumb ass up here thinking you was going to expose the other.
That's the problem. You made a take on a man, and it became a personal insult to him.
Who?
Ja Morant.
He's a dumb. He should be out buying buildings. Ja Morant controls the money. This is exactly what I was talking about. The man just got kicked out of the playoffs. He can't find nothing else better to do but to go party, drink, and show a gun. Why is he not out there going to buy 2 or 3 subdivisions so these women don't gotta complain about their living conditions? He can literally buy 3, 4 subdivisions in Memphis and South Carolina. Compete with Grant Cardone. Improve his community while being a dumb jackass that want to show guns. How many subdivisions does Ja Morant own?
Quiet.
None, probably. Because he got too much time to play tough on the internet. Just like you and your homeboy. All you niggas care about is being tough guys. Y'all niggas don't buy no property. How come all you NBA playing niggas, including myself when I was dumb and stupid like y'all, and now I'm smart? How come none of you niggas own just as much real estate as Bill Gates? He owned damn near all of Mississippi. You bragging about being $171 million man. Do you have 171 doors, nigga? Do you have 171 doors? Meaning of a subdivision. You got a white man working in your house in the background, but how many doors do you own, nigga?
Bam. Bam. Booyah. Check and goddamn mate. Checkmate. I will save you the time. Go back and check it out yourself. Gilbert had no response. Gilbert brought a slingshot to a nuke fight. He was not prepared. He was ill prepared. He was ill prepared. And he got showed up. He got showed up. He got played in front of everybody. In the words of LL Cool J, and now I'm going to do you while the party people watch. That's exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. And we will get into why as we get into today's topic, which again is, who are you suffering for? We all suffering for something, from something, with something, cause of something. Not why. are you suffering? I'm not asking why you suffering. That's a much more personal and difficult question to answer. The big question is who? Who are you suffering for? Understand, number one, that we all want to succeed. As a matter of fact, put a P2B1 in the chat if you want to succeed. Put a P2B1 in the chat if you in life, in relationship, you want to succeed. If you want to succeed, and everybody here, please hit the like button. If you want to succeed, there you go. Put a P2B1 in the chat. I am more than clear that the people who come here are on roads to success. Have no interest in failure that does not serve them. Right. Well, for those of you who did what I said and put a P2B1 in the chat, I got some scary, scary bad news for you. When you choose to succeed, you must choose to suffer. Shout out to Zero. The devil dog. He and I both made a choice a few decades ago to succeed as United States Marines. So for at least 11 weeks out of his and my life, we made a conscious choice to suffer. We're going to suffer hours of PT, physical training, hours of being reprogrammed, hours of being reindoctrinated, hours of being berated, hours of study. You got to choose to suffer in order to succeed. Even if the choice is negative, now you're choosing to double suffer. Well, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. I'm gonna have to put that down. That's yeah. When you choose to fail, you suffer more. Because either you're gonna suffer twice or suffer twice as hard. When you choose to fail at the directive given to you by a parent, you're gonna suffer more. And had you chosen the suffering of what it is you were supposed to do in the first place, had you chose the suffering of curfew, damn, my friends is out, I want to be out of that thing. Damn, I want to go to that thing, but I know I got to study for the final. And as smart as I am, I can say that no, I'm going to get a better grade than anybody dancing right now. And that grade is more important to me than dancing right now. So I have to suffer having my social life take a dent. Ooh, I like that, he who thinks. I tweak my saying a little. If you're looking to succeed, you must be prepared to suffer. Well, I think they kind of say the same thing. One feels a bit more proactive when you choose to succeed. You must choose to suffer. You don't have a choice but to choose that. And when you choose to fail, oh, you suffer more. Whether directly, indirectly, whether you meant to or not. And choosing to fail, depending upon the outlook, ain't the worst thing in the world. Now, there's a different, we can choose to fail. I'm going to choose. I'm going to make the choice as a motor oil additive company to run, which Lucas Oil, shout out to Lucas Oil, did this to prove a point. They put their engine additive in a motor for a certain amount of time and then drained the motor dry and ran the motor at full speed and for hours. For much longer than it was supposed to. It ran before it failed because they were choosing to fail in order to move forward. Robbing a liquor store is not choosing to fail in order to move forward. It's a low frequency plan. Choosing to not study is not a study in what makes failure for you. You chose not to study. So now, on test day, your name must suffer the indignity of being ill-prepared. If you in college, you just wasted your goddamn money because they don't give they don't give them what you do. You can come in or don't. The check's the same. When you choose to fail, when you make the conscious choice, when you know better, when you know your children deserve to be chastised and or punished, and you don't, oh, you just put some karma on the wheel you ain't gonna get right now, but that's coming down the road. See, it was cute when he was 2 and used to swing back at you and say no. Oh, everybody thought it was funny. Now he's 12 and can't nobody handle it. You suffering more. Because you was hell-bent on being his friend. Because you're going to parent different than your parents did. Well, you got results different than your parents got. Look at these little fucking urchins now. Because raising your children like they're your equals is a choice for failure, because inside you, along your spine, runs the truth that this little sumbitch need to find somewhere and sit his little monkey ass down. That's in you somewhere. This thing he or she is not doing is not cute. Guess what? You finna suffer more. Because it's going to be hard to impress upon this individual what it is that they're supposed to be doing from a relationship of equality, from a relationship of buddy-buddy. You're not going to be able to do that. This is why you now have a bunch of black parents dealing with, fuck you, mom. I need my privacy. I need my space. This is my space. You're invading my space. Well, first off, I want to know how your voice got that high in my goddamn house. You can take that high voice to shit and get the fuck on right after I swell your eye up as big as your head. Because you're not going to do that shit in here. Period. Point the fuck blank ever. As a parent who raised that child, you must ask yourself now, who are you suffering for? Who are you suffering for? Who are you suffering for when you find yourself in a situation where you work in a job that you know has nothing to do with your true purpose? Who are you suffering for when you work in a job that you know is not aimed at your true purpose? Yeah, I'm suffering for my kids, bruh. My kids got to eat. We got to eat around here. Let me put the rest of that on there. Who are you suffering for when you work a job that you know, or two, that are not in your purpose, and none of your other time is spent on your purpose? Now you're not suffering for them kids. Now you're not suffering for what you have. I submit to you that you are suffering for whoever, wherever, and whatever made you shove your purpose down that low. That's who you're suffering for, and a lot of you are hiding it behind what you got to do. I'm not talking about don't take care of your responsibilities, but don't hide behind what you got to do. You're going to hide behind what you got to do so you don't have to do it because these kids got to eat. Sad part is you don't know or realize that suffering right there is also suffering for your generations to come. because that artwork that you're going to make, that's incredible. That song you're going to write, that's fantastic. That recipe, that electronic design, that written program, that made suit. I'm talking to somebody. That new way to make fans, that invention on the light bulb, that twist on the action figure, that whatever it is that the creator put in you. That's the thing that's supposed to feed your grandkids, and it ain't. That means you are suffering so that they don't get to succeed. You're suffering so that they don't get to succeed if you are not in your purpose. You are suffering so that the line that comes behind you does not get to take advantage of the benefits of your gift because you would not cultivate it. When you bust your ass at somebody else's dream, when you put your blood, sweat, tears, effort, concentration, focus, sacrifice away from family into suffering for someone else's dream, you suffering for their kids. And so are they. Oh, some of your suffering benefits your kids. Some of it does. And I'm not talking to people, God bless you. There are people who I am not Ebony K. Williams shitting on the bus driver. I am not. Yeah, I like that. I am not taking an Ebony shit on the bus driver. Yeah, we're going to put that up. I am not taking a Ebony bus driver here. Okay. I think I may have a saying here. I am not taking a shit on the Ebony bus driver here. What do I mean? God bless you. If you feel that your base energy is to provide a base for your children to do better, and your base comes from a common position, there is nothing wrong with that. Other than we are no longer in the industrial age. We are in the information age. So you must shift your thinking a bit. If that thinking does not provide an upward platform for your family, as in Look here. Son, daughter, I'm trying to set the best example I can, and I want you to be like me in your area. Because my area was down here sweeping these streets. My area was being a trash man. I believe as a trash man, that there are things that you may want to do that don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing. And this is why I provide that base so you can jump from here. And after you make that leap, you can't look down on me. The rocket ship does not look down on the launch pad, because without the launch pad, the rocket ship don't go into orbit. Ain't no fucking cloud. It didn't just get up there. It was propelled up there. And by what? So I'm not taking a shit on the ebony bus driver. What I am saying is that if you know, you got a profession down on the inside of you that you bullshitting with. Be honest about who and what you suffering for. That's what I'm saying. Be real about it. You're in a relationship with a dude who can't help but bust you upside your goddamn head all the time. This dude is violent. This dude has a particular consistent track record of whooping yours and other women before you ass. Sis, who are you suffering for? I ain't got nowhere to go. What about these kids? I don't have no job. Who you suffering for? The easy answer is the kids. That's the easy one. Dig deeper, sis. Who did you see get their ass beat when you came up? Who beat them? What was your relationship to the B-Tor and the BT? How did you relate to those two groups of people? Those two people? Because I submit to you, sis, that is what you are suffering for. You are suffering because somebody put it in your DNA that this thing is insufferable. But it is where I am to be. Because that's what you're saying. Without a plan to leave, without a way to get this knuckle dragging son of a bitch up off of you, that's what you're doing. Without a plan to tunnel out of here. That's what you're doing. Top Shelf says a trash man is the best example of someone suffering from another person's mess. Has to sacrifice 3 out of 5 senses, look, smell, and touch to rid others of left behind garbage. How about that? Now, if you ask that man, in his opinion, is he suffering? You might get a different response, a response that might shock you. Especially depending upon where you the trash man at. You the trash man in Malibu. You the trash man in Manhattan. You trash man on Martha's Vineyard. You might be having a different experience than the trash man in Watts or Chicago. I mean, where the niggas live. You might have a different experience. The thing I'm saying is have a pulse on truly who it is you are suffering for. I'm suffering for this fool. Why do you think when you was little, your parents used to blow up? Because while you at school fucking off, they are suffering for you. They are sacrificing for you. And in their minds, a great many of them are suffering for you because they felt it was their duty to swallow their dreams and suffer for you. Not realizing that they were always supposed to hold on to a piece of it. I'm not saying sacrifice so they could get ahead. No. I am not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying know what it is. Know who and what you're suffering for. Whenever you find yourself about to do them push-ups, about to go into work with 3 hours of sleep, especially you 20-something, you in there pink-eyed, you know, what is it, almost 1 o'clock? Yeah, you was out partying last night, you about to hit the fucking wall at 1. That wall at 1 is a son of a bitch, ain't it? You gonna go straight to work? Oh, I got this. Nigga, life breezes to about 12:15. And then the rest of the day drags. You just suffered for a good time. A time whose memory is all you will really have of it. You got into some experimental mind chemistry, some experiment with modern chemistry, and put your liver through hell and a memory. But what did you achieve if suffering is the gray area between success? Suffering is the gray area in between to achievement. Let me play with that, Top Shelf. Suffering is the atmosphere that you must become accustomed to between desire, plotting, and executing on the way to achievement. Why am I doing this? Cause she fine? Cause his dick big? Cause he got a nice car? Cause my mama like him? I'm suffering for my mama. She ain't got to fuck this nigga. I do. Why am I suffering for her? This nigga's horrible. She don't know he horrible. Because all she ever see is the good side. That's a man, good man. This nigga routinely wipes his ass on my soul. I need to make him aware of my suffering. And after I make him aware of my suffering, I need to watch his behavior pattern. If it does not change, I don't give a fiddler's fuck if it's 16-1. I want a man and I want to be my best. But the suffering for him must equal greater for us. I am not going to suffer for him if it does not equal greater for us. I am not going to suffer for her if it does not equal greater for us. Suffering her disrespect does not equal greater for us. Suffering his violence does not equal greater for us. Suffering his irresponsibility does not equal greater for us. Suffering her low-key, passive-aggressive disobedience to not just me, but to the course. We have agreed upon a course. Suffering her lack of devotion to, her faithfulness toward, her silence in the favor of. The course is what I'm discussing. We've set a course somewhere. We done decided how to get there, where are we going, what speed, what the rules are in the water. And now, because it sounded good, now that this shit's uncomfortable, here come her mouth. Here come her attitude. Here come her disposition that takes my energy to ignore in order to be successful. Why am I suffering, man? Have I addressed this with her? I will suffer this if it is part of her growth that I am supposed to be an instrument in. I will suffer the fact that her mouth a little hot and go, hey, look here. Here's what we're trying to get. I love you, but I really don't like it when you talk to me like that in front of other people. I wish you wouldn't talk like that at all. Let's work toward that and start with not talking to me foul in front of other people. If you cannot have that conversation, fellas, just like I just said it, with no dirty words, with no condescension, if you can't do that, then I ask you, brother, who you suffering for? And when? Ooh, shit. Uh-oh. When are you suffering for? When? You ever ask yourself, when are you suffering for? Not just who, when are you suffering for? Are you suffering for the day that she'll stop disrespecting you? Are you suffering for the day when they will stop taking you as a joke with regard to what it is you do professionally? Are you doing that with no suffer map? Need to make you a suffer map because you're going to suffer. Now, nobody look, this life shit hard. You going to suffer. But what and in what direction should your suffering be? Do you think it is worth it to play through an injury, suffering for a team to win, not knowing how bad or how much worse it'll get? Yeah, they won the championship. But now you will no longer be able to walk. Who are you suffering for? Is the glory in the moment worth it? Is it? Is it about the right thing? Is it about the winning? So glad you brought that up, Top Shelf. Because what that does is puts us where we need to be. When I told you I was going to bring it back around to my main man, Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown versus Gilbert Arenas. Back around to them dudes. We got to take a good look at Kwame Brown and Gilbert Arenas because they really, really bring this home. These cats really uh these two dudes really encompass what it is that we talking about with suffering today. And they do so over another dude who we can ask about his suffering and who he's suffering for. Kwame Brown. and Gilbert Arenas. Let us start here. The average bench riding, never get his name mentioned NBA athlete will wear your sports playing, sports loving, can play basketball really good ass out. Let's start there. Oh, white supremacy is very good at harvesting the best crop we have physically and mentally poured into a game that doesn't mean much at all. Oh, they got a great potion, a great serum to cast a spell over an individual's life and make them devoted to a game that has to do a little with ego, a little with gravity, but mostly with corporate greed from people who can't do nearly what it is you do as the giant gods that you are. These two brothers on the screen are both very, very, very talented as basketball players. One, from what I understand, again, because I am not a avid basketball fan, one, I understand, went on to do a lot more than the other. Say what you will. About their accomplishments. But what they had in common was they both suffered for this game. It was some shit Kwame wanted to do as a little boy he didn't get to do. It was some muscle aches, some hit the floor, some suicides. Some weight room, some training that neither one of these cats necessarily wanted to do. But they were willing to suffer for their dreams. And it is that passion combined with ego that makes these two brothers rivals. That makes my man Kwame Brown a real easy target. But when this brother puts his accomplishments up about how he did for his mother, about how well off he's doing, he makes niggas that talk shit about his NBA record sound foolish. He makes them sound foolish. And that is what has happened again yet today. Because the two of them are at odds. I mean, this time, I'll just say this time, not period. Because from what I understand, these two brothers don't like one another very much on a regular. But this time, these two brothers have decided to cross swords over this brother. a young Ja Morant. This young god right here. Among normal mere mortals. Taller, stronger, faster. Albeit that talent aimed into bouncing a rubber ball and being very accurate with it. In a set of guidelines made by some white folks to make the most money. If we're going to go on and be honest with it, that's what it really is. They've decided to cross swords about this brother. Because what all three of them have in common is that they have suffered to be where they are. Suffered too. What is Ja suffering for? Ja and his lineage now are suffering for his desire to be accepted by a culture whose negative aspects he should be trying desperately to escape. He's suffering from, so niggas know I'm down, niggas. Hey, so man, nigga. He's suffering for not having the forethought to hire prior service Marines or Navy SEALs or off-duty Memphis police as his security. He's suffering because his ego won't allow him to look around. If his ego allowed him to look around, he would see that everyone else worth $200 million has security worth $200 million so that they don't have to carry guns. That's who this young, foolish boy is. Oh, you doing the white man's work. No, I'm calling a thing, porch monkey. Pick your lip up. Calling a thing. And that was some dumb shit this dude did twice. I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, well, do what you want to do broke then. In the words of Kwame Brown, you should have been buying some doors. Gilbert Arenas, you know why he didn't say nothing? Because he didn't have nothing to say. He got the floor wiped with his ass this time. I am in full agreement with Kwame because he's only worth $200 million before taxes. Well, yes. And before his agent, before his publisher, before his publicist, before his manager, before. But the 200 broken down, let's just say after everybody, Chris, he ain't got for 30. He walks around with that $200 million anchor around his neck an anchor because common people see it as $200 actual million that his hands will ever touch. Because they see money as freedom as opposed to privilege. And if he don't get his head right, he ain't gonna stay with that bread right. Believe me, already it's a white man who has financially bumped the sweet shit out of Ja Morant's head. If brandishing a firearm makes sense to you, what the hell do you think contracts make to you? And long-range decisions. That $200 million tag is a key he should be leveraging before they change the locks. We gonna have you come in here and talk about that, brother. Yeah. Where is he now? After choosing to suffer for street cred. Because that's really what he is. He suffered for street cred. I don't care what nobody say. Your daddy's supposed to undo all that. Or some of it. Some of it. Doors of the church is open. I want y'all to come on through. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think, where you at, what you working with on this one. And let's talk about who it is you suffer for. Now, I want you to let me know that. I'm going to refresh my little funky ass teeth. And then I'm going to come back. And we going to get into it. Your thoughts. All right? In a minute. All right, I'm back. Coming on in. Joining me today is the devil dog himself. The Jamario Bourne, as in Jason Bourne from the ghetto. Jamario Bourne. Jason, I like that. Jason Bourne. We're gonna start calling Jason Bourne. He be on some Bourne Identity shit down there where he be at. But he ain't on it right now. He up in here with us, man. Y'all welcome my main man, Zero. Zero, what's happening, Cat Daddy? How are you?
What's happening, brother? How are you, bro?
I'm good, man.
How's the family?
Everybody good, man. I was playing nursemaid to Mrs. Brown yesterday. She had a minor surgical procedure. So threw out them ibuprofens and gave her some weed. And
well, wishing her well and hope she get better quick soon.
Yeah, she's back up and at it, man. It's a very simple procedure she had. But at any rate, what's your thoughts on the subject today?
I mean, like I was saying in the chat, man, he you know, that 200 million is a tag that you can start leveraging as soon as you get it, you know, and it's really no time. Time is of the essence. You shouldn't be wasting a lot of time in what, you know, this other side mess that he getting involved in, because, you know, eventually he not gonna have that tag, you know, too much longer. You know what I'm saying? People look at money in a funny way. They always think of it as the actual pot of gold, but it's really how you can leverage, you know, the value that's been tagged to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's got limited time. You know, he play a sport where he can be injured at any time. You know, laid off at any time. So, you know, he really need to get his priorities straight, you know, and do what he's supposed to do. Whenever you associate yourself with guns and goons, you put yourself on a radar of all kinds of.
Oh shit! I told you. Yep. See, he be out there on that shit. When you put yourself in that vein, in that road, in that lane with that energy, you're gonna attract that energy. I am really fighting. Speaking of that, Brother Zero, I'm applying for my concealed carry here in California because I am a comedian. I write for comedians, controversial ones, and I need protection on me when I be out in these streets. That's legal.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how bad I dread carrying a 1911 with me? It is because I know this is me. Yeah, this is kind of on the same subject, bro. Suffice it to say that without paying for it, the best training you're going to get with using a firearm is being a member of a branch of the military, and in particular, the Army or the Marines. I don't think that's a stretch to say. So
definitely not.
So yeah, it's not a stretch to say. So you, me, we understand what it means to brandish a weapon. It's not just about you pulling out the weapon. It is about, what if it accident? What if your finger hits the trigger on an automatic weapon?
And this is where I see the argument. I see the argument going on all the time, and people will bring up. So what they'll do is they'll bring up pictures of people with ear protection on at the range, you know, taking pictures with their guns, and then they put up Ja Morant's picture, and then say like, "What's the difference?" And that what you just said is the key. Is this, you know, Papa told me, man. He said this. What he told me. He said a good man is dangerous, but highly disciplined. Highly dangerous and highly disciplined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you know, when you know, you can get a license for that weapon, right? But that doesn't license you to just pull it out at any time, or brandish it at any time. Like you have, it has to be controlled and specific circumstances where you're doing that. And
Yeah,
when you-
it's like starting a chainsaw in the middle of a grocery store.
Because you just the license order weapon don't give you, don't make you not liable for duress, for injury, for anything. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, like it brings a whole, you know, that thing brings a whole bunch of what they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
That thing brings
Absolutely. Now here's something else. This is where I was going with this. This is the fear I have of carrying a 45 with me, bro. Is that I know if I have to use it, if I have to reach for a 45, that means somebody is more than likely about to die. And it might be me. Because I'm not going to reach for a 45 in any other circumstance. In any other circumstance, I'm going to try to diffuse the situation. I'm going to try to not be there. I may even, if there's a way to keep distance between me and you, use something else other than my pistol. If you're too close, I'm going to use my hands first, create distance as I draw my weapon. But I know if I'm doing that, zero, brother, somebody about to go down.
You know that, you know what that's called though. That's tactics, and that's how they differentiate the thug from the professional. You know what I mean? So like everything you're saying is you know, is on par. You know what I'm saying? That's what tactics is, like trying to figure out how not what they call it, situational awareness, being aware of what's going on around you, and trying to figure out how not to use deadly force before you have to use deadly force.
Right.
You know? So I didn't like how the boy was putting it all in his face, and you know, that's nonsensical. You know, that's nonsensical. And then
he gone again. They done puked him again. Man, it's my man. They keep puking my man. Every time we get to talk a puke, now he gone again.
Yeah, they trying to get me. But I'm back.
Oh, whatever, man.
Yeah, man.
All we know, you put us on hold and shoot a rebel out of the damn brush. It's a rebel and a guy that just fell out of a tree just now, about 300 yards out. Anyway,
I ain't gonna take the time to put it on mute though. I'm just do it.
you just gonna get it done. Okay. Anyway, yeah, brother. This is something I did with my youngsters because I left their mama with a shotgun. I was like, here. I showed her how to use it. They was young. She came home and said that shotgun been moved. I said, all right. When I picked them up, I said, fellas, they was little. Oldest one couldn't have been no more than like 14. which puts them at that'll put them at like 14 about 14, 10, and 8, right in there. I said, yeah, let's go shoot a gun today. So I took him out to this spot where I know, and I bought a big old watermelon. And I took that shotgun, and I put that watermelon on this picnic table. And I let him see. I said, you feel that? That's about a little less strong than your rib cage right now. Just about. And we backed up about 10 yards. And I pulled that shotgun up right at the regular height and had them stand on either side. And whoom! Let loose with it. And the watermelon disintegrated. And right while the sound had shocked the shit out of them, right before they could go, whoa, I was like, hey, now take a look at that. See all that red? That's one of your brother's guts because you accidentally shot him messing with this. That is exactly what this will do to you. This is a tool. This is nothing for you to be playing with. Unless you plan to do that to somebody because they are hurting you or your mother or one of your brothers, you have no business with your hands on it because it could take your life. Do you understand? Yes. And that is how I taught them the respect of a weapon. Smell it. Smell that gunpowder. Touch it. Touch the shotgun. Still warm. Look at this watermelon. Splayed. That's one of y'all guts. John didn't have that conversation. That's why he can put a 45, a 9 or whatever he had in his face. Dude, did you see Pulp Fiction? Did you see Sam Jackson hit a buck?
I seen Pulp nonfiction. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro, get on it. Talk about it. Speak on it.
When you see what it can do, you know, you move around it differently. That's another thing that's going on too. We got like a bunch of bullshit going on politically on both sides of the aisle where people are trying to present shit in a certain way that's not the whole truth. Like, you know, on one side they trying to say nobody should have it. On the other side, they try to make it look like it's like this clean, pretty thing of where you can just shoot somebody. They don't tell you about all of the maiming and the different charges and the different things that can come back on you. You know, after you have to use it, and the time and energy you got to spend going to court proving your intent of using it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, every place ain't like Florida, Texas, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of those places, when you end up discharging that weapon, you got to go through a lot afterwards, and they don't show you that aspect. They just, you just think that, okay, I'm dropping the perpetrator and that's it. You know, you're unaware of all the fines and the interviews and, you know, all of the bullshit that comes with.
That makes it absolutely, positively not worth it unless it's worth it.
Nah, that's why I load my thing. So my 12 gauge home defense, I loaded rock salt, shot, and slug. 3 strikes you out. You know what I'm saying? The rock salt hit hard, but it ain't gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? But it hits nasty. You know what I'm saying? It give me enough time to see if they, you know, if they on something. You know what it is I'm dealing with. You know, that shot. You know, like, you know, that'll pepper them up a little bit, and then that slug will, you know, do the damn thing. So, you know, like, and in saying that, those you got to tactically think about how to protect yourself, even if you have to, use those weapons, and how to represent yourself, and how to be disciplined, and how to be professional.
Sure. Well, see,
With their use.
now I'm gonna get into what I'm saying to back that back a little bit, and then after we get into that, I want to really get into what Top Shelf had put down there. I think a little different when it comes to home protection, especially a shotgun for the house. Bruh, this will come as no shock to you. I've already taught my wife, all my children, and my close family members. We need call and response. What you'll call me and my wife have a call and response. Me and my children have a different call and response. Me and every other family member, sit tight, Yogi, I got you. Me and every other family member have a call and response to where the first word represents the family you from. The second word represents who you are in that family. So that if I give the first word of my family, whatever that call is, it doesn't matter. If you my clan, when you respond, because we've been through these commands, I know exactly who I'm talking to. If I go downstairs, first off, I don't know if I'm gonna go machete, because I'm a fan of edge weapons, bro. Up close, ain't nothing like an edge weapon up close. Y'all sit tight, fellas. I'm gonna bring you in on this conversation in just a minute. Bruce Lee.
To the gods and master.
Yeah. If I go downstairs with either my 1911 or my tactical, bro, I'm not looking to buckshot.
Well, see, I hate to terminate in my domicile. My home is my temple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the only reason why I do it the way that I do it, is because I kind of been in that situation. And when you drop them in your home, it takes a while to get that vibration out of there.
Right. That's a heavy energy.
It's heavy, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's real heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's only because I was on that vibe at first when I had less experience.
Yeah.
Of engaging in that way, but then I just started realizing, I got to do all kind of. It's like the Zulus, after they went to war, they would go through a purification ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you
gotta get that off
deep. If you don't do everything that's necessary, you're gonna carry it with you, and it's gonna make you a madman,
Right. And it's less
straight up.
It's I guess rock salt gives you less to get off of you than a slug. And
rock salt will bust them ribs up. Rock salt will tear them.
Right, rock salt will get that ass. It'll get that ass.
Yeah, it'll get that ass.
But
you know what I'm saying?
For me, bruh, here's what I'm looking at. Immediately, what comes to mind is not to put my phasers on stun with Hattie Mae. That's my shotgun's
I can
name.
dig it.
When I got Hattie Mae in my hand, bruh, I don't just drag her out. I don't drag her out now. I got a dog. I got other little goodies. If I drag out Hattie Mae, bruh, it's me or you, and I'm not playing with you. And a lot of I might feel a little different if I lived alone, but because I live with my wife and my children are here, and
I can definitely dig it.
You know what I'm saying? I am the first line. And I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna figure out if you here from my TV. I'm not gonna figure out if you here because you hungry. There's other ways to come at me if you just hungry. Nigga, don't come up in here like that, because I'm not gonna. And because I know that, okay, yeah, now we gonna add some cats up in here. Because I know that, I'm gonna come at it a little bit different. Now, brothers, brother Bruce, brother Yogi.
Now, if I gotta draw my sidearm, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Now that's that ain't, it ain't no, woulda, shoulda, coulda when it comes
Really
to that level. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just how. That's just how I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's talk about that. Hold on, I want you to hold that thought, because I'm kind of in the reverse in that well, it is. I guess when I think about it, it's easier to wound with rock salt than it is to wound with a sidearm. You gotta be a trick shot artist to wound with a sidearm. Unless I'm telling you, unless I got you dead, in my sights. I got sight, got the sights are clear and you are blurry, and I'm looking right at you. Unless I decide to shoot you in the thigh. Everything else, if I got this sidearm out, it's going hot, because I can't just shoot over there and get you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I got an aim center mass. Unless I'm some kind of trick shot artist that can shoot the gun out your hand. That's not what I'm doing with this sidearm. With this sidearm, I'm trying to hit you in the liver.
No. Put that thing in my chest and just squeeze. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in a.
So what say you, Yogi? Unmute yourself.
Peace, brothers.
Okay.
Okay, I see it now.
There you are. What's up, Yogi?
Hey, brother. I've loved this subject. That's why I'm here. I usually sit back and listen to everybody and see what knowledge I can gain for everybody. But this one's so emotionally touching. I have to speak on this one.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Can you turn the music down a little bit, because I can't hardly hear you?
Oh shit! I've been to admit somebody adds it to.
Yeah, I can't really hardly hear you too well.
Oh, dude, yeah. Okay,
There we go.
Stuck in the chat. Y'all supposed to be on that shit. All right, that's better.
Yeah, it sounds better. It didn't. It's okay on the show, but when you come into the studio, it seems so much louder.
Did that? Okay. Well, go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is a great subject. I like the way you approach it, because it's so sensitive. But I'm more sensitive about this because I've dealt with young people who are come from rough environments and trying to make it into a more civilized and structured life. And here's a guy who's got parents, a father, has provided for him, grew up in a nice environment, and he wants to take away the imagery of people who actually come from those streets. You know what I mean? So his insult is to say, I made it, I got the money, plus I can look like you and act like you.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I see this whole scenario from the point of view of he's giving the middle finger to actual black struggling culture.
Word is bond.
You know what I mean? So I don't have any sympathy for this. Yeah, I don't have any respect for this dude. Or, and his father's right there at the game, and if you didn't guide your son to get to this point, then you failed.
Yogi, brother Yogi. Okay, first off, Yogi, it's good to really just talk to you, man, because we be back and forth talking all the time, typing. It's good to talk to you, but you hit the man. I got into it yesterday, big with somebody about that. That kids gonna do what they want to do anyway, and that you can always have a bad seed regardless to what you do. That does not exonerate you from the duty in the first place. Your children need to have a platform to rise above or fall from, and it does not sound like this father set the example that he should have. So elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the father. I just see him on the games or whatever. So I mean, he gets to do whatever he wants to do. But you know, we no matter what we do, we can never get away from being the representative for the people to follow us. You know what I mean? We're still in America. This is still what we're dealing with. It's not over. But a lot of black people who lived in the suburbs and got parents that kept them away from all the badness, the father forgot to tell them, oh, by the way, son, we're lucky. You need to be respectful and grateful for the fortune you have. He didn't give them gratitude. You know, and I come from poverty, but they gave me gratitude anyway. They didn't ever say, oh, woe is me, we poor. They were like, hey, we can do this, you can do better, you can make it. But they never said, oh, you know, put your middle finger at everybody who don't make it. It was always, you represent all of us.
Well, that kind of lends itself to this. And I'll open the floor to the three of you. I think that another overlooked symptom of whites of being the victims of white supremacy is a sick desire to be envied by one another. It ain't worth it, me having it, if I can't see another nigga that ain't got it. I just got to let everybody around me know that not only have I escaped, but you ain't shit because you didn't. What are y'all thoughts?
I'm gonna let Bruce step up. We ain't heard nothing from him.
Yeah, we ain't heard nothing from Brother Bruce, man. Unmute yourself there, Cat Daddy.
Going on with the masters.
Okay, hold on before you speak. I got to talk to Brother Yogi. We're gonna take a vote on it because Brother Yogi, I don't know if you've been checking it out, but what's been going down with us is we come in here with the funky avatars, okay, and ours are cartoons. Yours, Yogi, looks like a really good jazz album cover. So they look like this Yogi played the shit out of guitar.
A little bit.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to work on, because I'd love to have you back, but you got to give me a cartoon or something, Cat Daddy. I want some.
Well, now give me the category of cartoons, like superhero cartoon, or y'all seem like warrior cartoons.
Oh,
here.
war. That's because who? Yes. What avatar best describes Yogi? I don't give a goddamn if it's a red, black, and green flower. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't a house shoe. It has to be something, and it's not that like, okay, here's my aesthetic. Yeah, good aesthetic. 0. Really good, great aesthetic. Then breaking it up is my man. Then we got the George Benson album. We got Turn Your Love Around.
Turn your love around.
Yes,
well, but okay, let me step away. I'll get something for you, bro.
Oh, you ain't gonna step away. You ain't gonna, you gonna come right back? Or just do it later. Do it later. But because the cats that be on here, when I edit this later, like when Bruce is talking, that's gonna be up. So something you would want up, like Pookie and Ray said, that don't make you look like the bass player. By the way, the bass player gets all the cooter. I don't know if you guys know that. Bass players are notorious vampires. You need to watch out for them. Shout out to my friend Will Walls. Yeah, I hate to derail it like that, but because I want you coming back here, man, I think it'll be.
I get you, bro.
Yeah,
I get you.
With that said, gone into your thought there, young Jedi.
Okay, so like I said, peace to the masters. I forget the question, but I wanted to know if I answered. If you could repeat the question.
Okay. What do you think of the failing of the how much of what's going on with Ja Morant do you attribute to his father's failing? Let's just start there. Yeah. I don't even remember what the question was. That's just a good one.
Okay, well, I mean, there is that one. I was gonna say, I don't know if it's for TV purposes or it's for a lack of self-awareness. I'm really tired of the versus matches when we reaching for knowledge.
Go deeper. What do you mean?
I'm listening to old versus new or versus young. I'm older than you, so I know, when back that older versus younger, or knowledge versus unaware, or those two arguments seems to be the whole division of the situation. If I don't know the boy, just like I don't know his daddy, I don't know what they're aware of and what they're not aware of. I know that money and living in the suburbs is just a matter of you can live in the suburbs by being really good at taking direction. And that's really all I can take. You get luck. I know plenty of females that didn't luck in their way into a job that moved them out of the neighborhood where two different groups of niggas know them. But that don't mean that they any better. They just found their way into a job and know how to take direction. They not a better person for it. They still the same raggedy broad that them two groups of niggas know. So
hey Bruce,
I don't, you know what I mean?
What do you think about what Yogi was saying about the fact that him having the opportunity should put him in another, like on a level of social leadership, or where he's not leading those that are following him astray? What you feel about that?
Once he knows that, then it's his responsibility. Until he know that, we just telling him shit. It's like Cat Williams said: you give a crackhead more money, he's just having more crack. Like, now I know more people that sell crack than I used to know. That's all that happened here. I was at one job where two people hit a somewhat lottery. One cat actually hit the lottery, got a couple of million, and another cat's family died. He got an inheritance for $500,000. And they got this in the same year. So one guy that got to hit the lottery, he decided that he loved meth so much that he was going to get a hotel suite, hookers, and as much glass as he could snort and smoke until that money was gone. Then right before it was gone, that's what he did. That's what he did until that money ran out, and he went right back to work after that was ran out. The guy with the inheritance, he thought he was going to be smarter, and he was going to start him a business. He was going to be a mobile welder. That's what he was going to do. He was going to be a welder.
A mobile welder?
Yes, sir. Because he knew how to weld. The problem is he also knew how to light shit up in a little bitty pipe, and it made you feel real, real good. So his mobile welding business was going to be started by him welding a crate to a bike and some type of contraption in the middle of a park that looked similar to just a bike with a carriage on the back of it. And that's as far as that idea got, because the rest of it was snorted and smoked. And then he went back to work. Nobody told these people. They learned nothing. They absolutely learned nothing. They weren't young people when they got this money. They were my age or better. They're about 40-ish when they got the money. Nothing productive happened with that money. Nothing. There's some drug dealers that fed their kids, hopefully, but that's as good as that story was gonna get off of about $4.5 million worth of shit that they just decided to smoke up.
Wow.
Yeah, I try not to hold people responsible for information they don't know. Now, once he knows, that's usually when they're trying to kick you out the gang, ain't it?
Sure. That's a great Yeah.
So let
If
me
that
add
was,
something on. Let me add something on real quick, right?
yes, sir.
Now I agree with you 100%. That's very deep and thoughtful what you're saying, and I agree with it. But what I also know, because I do have some insight into how the NBA works and rookie orientation and training,
Yes, sir.
they get extensive training about all of this shit. In the NBA contract, they have a clause called 9A that specifically deals with this shit and the repercussions. It's just like, you ever been in a job where you have an orientation period, and like part of that is you watching OSHA videos and people coming in
Yes,
for like
sir.
3 or 4 days. So I know, one thing I do know for sure is that the NBA does, it's extensive with them. Like I think it's a couple of months, their whole rookie orientation training and scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So then on the other end, if you sign in a contract, of course you know about clause 9A and how, the repercussions and shit that you could,
Face.
have come against you, and how you could lose your money, your standing, get suspended, so on and so forth. So with that knowledge, right, how would you, what say you?
I would say we all didn't pass tests by bubbling an answer that for the test we need to study for.
No,
That,
no, this
that,
is
no,
it's a lot
I
more
understand
than,
what you're saying. No, I
yeah,
understand what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying. It's a training, but
yeah.
that don't mean I know nothing. Like, so for that information, is the NBA also not notoriously known for sicking white bitches on niggas? Is he getting threesomes with white bitches he could never fuck when he didn't have this money? Why he going through this training? Because he got the money, or he about to have the money? Is it like it's still considered a person? So I can give you the material. I can put you in a situation where you don't want for nothing and your life is completely educated. That doesn't mean my son, the first time he gets exposed to more money than he's supposed to, doesn't want to go gangbang. He never got to gangbang before. Maybe that's all he ever wanted in his dreams. Maybe me putting him in basketball was just something I wanted him to do, and he wanted to honor me and got the contract. And now, since I did what I did for my parents, it's my turn. Do what the fuck I want to do. It's kind of like it's nobody's obligation to be a king if they're not. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Because in that line of thought, if there's no obligation for you to be king or be a leader, would you want a leader that's not suited for that position? Would you want somebody out here talking like LeBron James? I'm not going to just shut up and play basketball, and then a week later, you know what, I'm just going to play basketball. And shut the fuck up? I would okay, good.
No, actually, no. I see your point in that. So, and I'd agree with you on that. But then I do know that. So let's talk about something that always crosses my mind, right? I got this saying that I call mammy talk, right? And the reason why I call it mammy talk is because there's situations where once responsibility is given to us, right? Certain levels of power, in the natural progression of things, it's on us to start trying to figure out and educating ourselves and rising our energies up to being able to handle that, right?
100% agree.
It don't always work, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not always, it's not always evident, but it's something that in order to succeed that we got to get into. Now, the reason why I call the other thing mammy talk, because I see this inclination of people to give a person an excuse when, especially people that have access. Remember, a basketball player is not just a dumb. We got this stereotype like they just dumb. They have access to a lot, bro. If they want to be like top engineers instead of top fucking white girls or whatever, they can be top engineers. You know, they'll get.
Got his ass again.
What happened? Oh, he just gone?
He just be gone, man. He be dropping out, man. I think, yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you
I'm
back?
here. I'm here.
back.
I'm here. I'm back. I'm back. So
Okay,
so
okay.
so you know they give them a lot. There's a lot of access that they give them. I'm just want to let you know. It's like I don't want to create a false narrative like these dudes. It's like it's like in a movie where like okay the cat's just coming off the street and them days are where like a dude that can barely read and write and doesn't have access to bettering himself. It's kind of been over for almost 20 years now as far as professional sports, man. You know, if they can access anything that they want to access, if it's white girls, they can access that. If it's a scientific,
Whoa. You gotta slow down. You gotta slow down a little bit. Here's my issue with what you're saying. What I have not seen slow down is when a kid is young and shows a particular aptitude for a sport that he's really good at. The greedy ass adults around him immediately swarm upon this child and amplify and make every opportunity they can like it is the only way out of their situation. And
that is super valid. That
these
is super
young
valid.
men go through their lives. They go through their lives. Get it out, Jeff. Having everything handed to them, not having to study, not having to do anything other than this thing that they see they have a gift for, and these colleges still promote this to the tune of millions of dollars. So until that stops happening, you still
let me ask you
gotta
this, Jeff. Let me ask you this, Jeff. I yield wholeheartedly and know that is an actual fact or what you're saying. But then I also know what I'm saying is an actual truth too.
Right.
So now how do we take those realities and what do we put together? You know, how do we use that intelligence to navigate and design a new paradigm? And that's really what I'm trying to get to.
You put people like Pointers in the room with people. You put people like me in the room with people, and we make sure that 45 ACP shells aren't trying to fit in to LR22 magazines. You have to accept what and who somebody is showing you they are. We cannot be so like I've recently really looked up at being a king and what that means to me. And not everybody wants the responsibility of the crown.
That's absolutely real.
So in expecting in that, even if your job is janitor, some people don't even want to do that. So
all right, so as a Marine,
yes,
how
sir.
detrimental is the excuse? That's
no excuse. I give no excuse because I have no expectation of anyone I don't readily know. So I don't know you well enough to know what you want in the next 10 years. It's like when we talk about Tupac and how in one breath he could be this and another breath he could be that, and they judge him not on the sum total but on the breaths that they heard and go, well, what did that man want to do if he lived another 10 years? What would have been possible? We don't know because he ain't here to speak. So I don't, as in my position that I'm in now, taking care of family and my immediate family and other family and seeing that other people look at me and go, you are an excellent father. I wish I had a dad like that. I don't care what you do. Make sure you're there for your kids, man. And I'm going to make sure. I've even had people look at me with my kids and go, I'll make sure you don't fuck up. Because if I catch you fucking up, for your kids' sake, I'll fuck you up.
Wow. Wow.
So there are people that command that there are positions that whether you see yourself in it or not, that you're in, and it's still, even then, it is still, no matter how many people tell you, up to you to accept your place. But until then, you will have a problem with your place, and you will continuously run into problems that you don't need to have, because you don't want to accept the responsibility of the problem that commands your attention. So you will have lesser and lesser problems come at you that don't mean nothing, or that shouldn't even be there. And I think that's the depth of the conversation.
Okay.
We feel like the brother shouldn't even be having these type of problems. The problem is the brother wants these type of problems.
Woo!
Above everything else.
You breaking this shit down to the molecules. It's dope what you're saying, man. Because but like it kind of lets you know why. You know, a lot of the things that we throw out as toxic in modern society, how like the whole family line had to answer for transgressions of somebody that represented the family, all of these different things that we perceive as harsh. It kind of shows you why those things were in place and why they're necessary. You know, because them not being in place, we just sitting and spinning our wheels over and over trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of quicksand. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm hearing you and I'm feeling what you're saying.
We can't. I feel like we can't depend. Oh, sorry.
Hold on. I want you to hold that thought, because you had something you wanted to jump in on with something you said earlier, and then bring that back, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt the flow. That's why I'm listening. I like the flow. But, yeah, you said earlier about what are we supposed to do. I can't remember the context. But what we have to do is tell them what we expect from them. You know what I mean? Like John Morant has a father. What did he tell him he expected from him? You know, if just getting in an NBA was all he told him, that's not enough. You know what I mean? We already got Jordans. We got LeBrons. We got a lot of people in the NBA. So that's not a big accomplishment that he follows hundreds of other black men who've made it to the NBA and made money. That's not, he didn't do that by himself. That was done by those who made the way. We're pushing for people to do the next thing, become the big coach, become the big owner. You know what I mean? Start your own league. We're not pushing for you. We don't applaud you for doing what we've already seen black men achieve. But he's acting like he's done something for the first, he's the only black person that ever did this. So, but part of the answer is you got to make sure you're telling people younger than you, your children, what you expect, and know that they can achieve it. Because I was raised with people telling me what they saw my potential being, which is sort of like saying what I expect of you. And, you know, these are great people that told me this stuff. You know, Gordon Parks was one of my mentors as a child, and I achieved what he saw in me. You know, I became a photographer. You know what I mean? I achieved a lot of things because people saw it in me and expected me to fulfill something. I had no excuse. So John Morant, I don't know what he was told that made him, obviously he wasn't told enough, because he's willing to throw it away for childish things. You know what I mean?
Let me add some insight to that. I've crossed paths with the father many times. And the situation is evident in who he is. You know, he's kind of he's been, you can see that he has been neglectful, and why when you really do some research and study who he is. And
I mean, was he in the family? I thought he was a family. They were together.
They were, but he's still a wild dude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, okay, there you go. Put it where it is. He's a wild dude.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's still for no reason too, you know. But so
there's John Morant's problem.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you. Then that's where the problem starts.
You can take dashiki out the hood, but you can't take the hood niggas out dashiki.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, I appreciate you filling that in, because people watching this from the outside, even outside our culture, are going to give this to the whole culture, not from the uniqueness of how he was raised. They're going to say that's a young black man.
Just like what Jeff said, you know, you could have a full intact family, doesn't mean that they intact mentally, physically, and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, You know, like of course, yes, he did. They physically, yeah, they are intact, but there are a lot of things.
Well, let me. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask Zero this. Well, what happens to all the black men like Kwame Brown who didn't have all that intact, but look how he turned out and look what he endured and look what he achieved and how he faced it. He was facing people telling him he wasn't good. They got John Morant got people saying, "Oh, you the greatest thing since Jordan."
I think that's a
But
problem.
that's exactly why I don't accept the mammy talk makes me cringe.
What's the mammy talk?
It's the thing. It's the automatic excuse. You know, it's
Okay, all
always
right.
an automatic excuse. And then as a person who's watched the whole evolution of the situations that black folks are in the United States, it's the same voice of the mammy talk is the same voice of the welfare mom who always want to give her son an excuse for being a thug rather than putting him in the hands of some kind of mentorship or doing what it takes. She's too late. You know, she's there to advocate for him after the fact, after he's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? To give him an excuse. And I don't fall for those excuses because, like I said, I was a U.S. Marine and I seen some.
Okay.
I seen Twinkies come in there and just turn
into tigers.
Well, that's the thing, though. See, you're talking from like I was in the military and I was in the Navy and the Marines, and so that's something that you get that you can't get nowhere else.
Okay, which one did you do first, Yogi?
I was in the Navy, but stationed with Marines.
You were a man?
No, I was a photographer, journalist.
Oh, okay, overstood.
But I had to go with some units sometime to document stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're taking pretty pictures. I'll just put it that way. But if you do a mission, someone's got to say it was completed and this is what it looked like, or surveillance or something. But there's no excuse in that. You know what I mean? Like, Paris Island don't care about your feelings. No. You know what I mean? You sweating is what your job is, not, oh, look at me, I'm over here sweating. It's like, that's your job.
Right. That's what we do here. That's par for the course.
Right.
Now,
you know what I mean?
I got to say this, brothers. With that shit, I forgot the idea and it was dope. The thing that I keep hearing is A, take accountability, and B, take responsibility for teaching your seed what accountability is. And I just I can't get around the Chris Webber story. Chris Webber was acting a damn fool in college. This is a pretty big story. I heard him tell this story actually on ESPN, where the coach sent for his father because Mr. Webber was not with the games. Mr. Webber gets there and he asks Chris, "What's your last name?" Chris said, "Webber." He said, "No, it's not. That's my last name. Until you have your own family, that's not your last name. And right now, you out here putting dirt on my name. Your name means something. The Morant name didn't mean anything to Ja because Mr. Morant, it doesn't sound like, taught him any pride in the Morant name. We Morants don't do that. Shout out to Lorenz Tate. We Tates don't do that. There's a code of conduct that we have as a group. He wasn't given that. So I think the difference between a reason and an excuse, and again, yeah, here's where I wanted to go. This is a lot to do with Zero. And what he said, to co-sign that, my uncle, and I want y'all to get on this, and then you do know to brace for it in a few minutes. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm going to kick you guys the fuck out.
I'm always got my parachute. So
I want to. That's funny. I want to get back to that, man. My Uncle Bobby was a United States Marine. A great many of the men in my family were service. My Uncle Bobby was a Marine in Vietnam. There's one story where he came home after winning a Purple Heart on leave, and we were outside, and these were the old school ice cream trucks where they had the window with the pedestal. I mean, the tray that came out, like the desk, the counter had a little counter come out. Well, we were all out there. My Uncle Bobby was out there with a cane. This is the story I was told. I was like 3. This was 1968. And some little kids was outside playing. And somebody threw a firecracker. When the firecracker went off, everybody jumped. And then everybody said, "Where's Bobby?" My Uncle Bobby jumped under the counter and grabbed me and was sitting there trembling. He's just trembling. And they had to tell us, "Okay, Bobby, it's all right." And he came out. He went back to Vietnam, and when he came home, he was never, ever the same. Him not getting help, coupled with the social breastfeeding that he received by my grandmother, ruined this brother. Ruined it. God bless the dead. That was my uncle. I loved him. But it turned him into something else. He became a pimp. He was really, really good looking, always had women around him, and then women took care of him till he died. When he could have been so much more if he hadn't have got what Zero was talking about with social breastfeeding. That's what it is. That's what that mammy talk is. It's social breastfeeding. You've been breastfed too long. Imagine if you breastfed a nigga till he was 15. What would his bones be made of? What would his constitution? No vegetables, breastfeeding. Well, that's what happens socially to so many of our brothers. What say you fellas? Jump in on it.
See, then he asked a question about Kwame Brown too, and from what I do know about the brother, and I know I'm very good friends with a lot of the saltwater Geechee people, man. They have a lot of them have a mentality of where they don't want that shit. When she pulled a titty out, once they get into their manhood, they don't want that shit. They ready to smack it away and do their own thing. And there's too many of us that where it's facilitated for too long. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're breastfeeding the baby for way too long, and he never comes into, you know, his own, you know, as a man. But yo, man, it's it's because, you know, as we saying it, there's so many dimensions and so many dynamics, man, and so many angles to it, you know, that is just it's deep. What I'm saying is that I don't think that we should put ourselves in any kind of position of accepting the excuse, you know, because it makes us weak. It doesn't temper steel. You know what I'm saying? And when you come in with the flimsy wrist shit and the, you know, the other shit, is gonna just produce that. And here in Belize, it's a social revolution going on amongst the women that's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? They are rejecting the toxic masculinity label.
Really? Look at that.
Boy, disappeared again.
His ass gone. He'll be back in a minute. I don't know.
He always seems to pop out on the top of the mountain, then they just push him
Right,
off.
right.
It's like,
Right.
and what's the rest?
They have a
Oh, there he is.
they have a full understanding of what the
Hold on. You said they were rejecting. That's when you cut out.
The
The women
Yeah, so
are rejecting.
they're rejecting this toxic masculinity label. They're using critical thought and they starting to ask themselves question on why is a man being a man considered toxic? Why is this? What is this? And they're wholeheartedly rejecting it because here the situation and the dependence of a man's man is way more valuable than it is in a lot of first world scenarios. So they're using their critical thoughts and they're starting to reject and like, hold up, that ain't right. You know, they starting to protest against a lot of the programs and stuff that they bringing in to bring like these new ideologies in the school. It's all women led because they're understanding that a couple generations ago, you know, I was rocking with niggas that would just jump in the water and go get dinner, you know, or go in the woods for a couple hours and come out with a feast for a few days, no matter what the value of the market or the dollar or whatever was. They're seeing this and they starting to really rebel and reject a lot of these buzzwords and this propaganda that's being pushed. And it's kind of it's an interesting thing to see. You know what I'm saying? They're rejecting. They're holding their own titties to raise real men. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, it's y'all got all kinds of things coming at y'all, man. It's like total warfare. I always tell my brothers and sisters in the States that, man, y'all got it the worst as far as warfare and the things that are being aimed at you and the inability to be able to sit down in peace with like-minded people in peace to create good game plans and critical thoughts
Yeah.
and things you can put together to follow because they coming at y'all, man, on a
Well,
level that's unprecedented.
well, part of that is the technology. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up with a phone that I could look at every other second and see what someone thinks of my opinion. You know what I mean? So I didn't get no feedback. I had to apply it and then feedback in my own head whether that's going to work or not. You know, but today you got people filling your head saying, "Oh man, you bad, you great, you wonderful," and in the real world they live in, they think that's the real world. That's some stranger on the internet you don't even know telling you you're great for doing something stupid, and that's why he was doing it on Instagram. You know what I mean? His whole career has been social media. You know what I mean? Jordan didn't have social media. If someone said he was great, it was because he scored the points and had a championship, not because he did a play and there's, you know, one shot of him doing a dunk and now he's the greatest guy in the world on Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. He has an artificial sense of self, but the father is supposed to help him. But since you told me his father don't have a good sense of self, well, the brother's going to have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? And a lot of people do learn the hard way. You know what I mean? Malcolm X learned the hard way, but he learned. So hopefully my only value to him is I hate the person he is, but I'm pulling for the person he can become.
Wow. What a great man. You see what I just did there, y'all? That was fantastic. That shit that Yogi just said was the great spot to just hit the eject button and throw them three incredibly deep, smart, wise black motherfuckers out. What a show. What a goddamn show. Again, I'm impressed by the cats that be up in here, man. Ain't no lightweights in here, man. I really think that we have something here. Those of us who are coming here, those of us who spend their time with me, those of us who take this and go back and tell people what's cracking about what we doing here. I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all so much, man. And just having you in here, having you come in and share what you say, what you type. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. I love you guys for it. I look forward to it. Check it out. Tell your friends. And most importantly, most importantly, share this shit with somebody. You believe in what I'm saying. You need to get some more mamas. I'm in here. You need life coaching? Holla at me. Ask Uncle Jeff at Gmail. GB Funny Style is my cash app. Need them beats? Something you hear in the background? I'm gonna be pumping a lot more beats up pretty soon, y'all, on SoundCloud, where you can go and hear all my shit. I got stuff for shit to sale. I'm really, really pushing my music right now. I got merchandise coming out, and I thank you for your support in advance. Who are you suffering for? Figure it out. Get back to me. Till then, stay high in thought. Stay high in deed. Guide your ignorance to your wisdom. Pull out of the gravity of the stupid. Sisters, find your peace. Brothers, find your majesty. It's your Uncle Jeff. I'm out.